What is up, guys? Evan Aldo here. Wanted to give you guys an update on the market, kind of what I've been doing. Been a slow, kind of boring market, rather than do the live stream and just stare at paint dry. Wanted to give, kind of a pre-recorded kind of overview right now. Still in this Matic long that's done very, very well. This is one of the, trades that I kind of ran up. I'm in some other ones too, kind of waiting for an outcome. If you guys want more info on that, we do a lot of really good trade setups in the Discord down below. A lot of really good stuff there. We got Nightshade in there, great analyst, and KMac as well. Really good analysts that post a lot of really good stuff in there, as well as me in there as well. So yeah, if you guys are interested, check it out. If you guys want one free month in there, check out the links down below for BloFin, Bybit, or FAIRDESK. A lot of really good promos going on right now. $100 refund bonus. So basically, if you deposit, I believe if you deposit and trade with Bitcoin, Ether, Sol, and you lose $100 or more, they'll give you a $100 refund. I've seen some of the gambling sites do it. It's completely legit. You can just deposit $100 and basically, if you lose that, not a big deal. You get another shot with another $100. So I mean, if you could win, risk the trade, and if you could win two, if you could get one out of two of the winning trades, you could potentially double that. Or I mean, it is possible to, it's not a real lot of money to trade with, but it is possible to get a 5x over, a decent period of time with that, with good risk management over time. But it would be slow with 100. So that's that. And then they are doing a competition on Bybit, which is good as well. Bybit, you do need a KYC, but if you're comfortable with that, it's a very high liquidity exchange. Been using it for years. A lot of good stuff there, especially with getting those orders filled. If you want to do the limit orders and save on fees, good exchange for that, especially for more of the big ballers. But BloFin, very good up and coming one as well. FAIRDESK is great as well. If you could sign up to any of these, deposit at least $100, I will give you one free month in the Aldo Empire, the VIP Discord as well. Just open a support ticket with your UID, so check that out. Links are down below if you're interested. So let's get into the analysis. I wanted to show you a few things kind of on the macro first here, just to see what we're, kind of looking at. Trigger wave right here. I mean, gap to RSI is pointing up, trigger wave on the 4-day. Things generally look pretty good in the larger time frames. I mean, I guess the 2-week could kind of be a little scary with money flow coming down, but look at the last time we were here with money flow. I mean, this was right before the parabolic run-up. Now, I don't think it's going to be, this crazily high and unhealthy here, but I do think we could just gradually, generally keep going up. And I've talked about this for a while, looking at that pullback in August of 2016, that bottom right there, and then you just gradually went up and you had those healthy kind of corrections on the way. This big run up, not too healthy. You had to consolidate, then you made your true all-time high in the 4-year cycle. This right here, this is a healthy, a healthy relationship right here. I don't know why I said healthy relationship, but it is. It's healthy. It's much healthier, and I think we may see more of that without, a lot of the crazy stuff we saw in this kind of run up with Elon Musk and all the Dogecoin, all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully we'll be more healthier for the next, 6 to 12 months, or, the latest I could see this going on until is probably January 2016, but who knows? That's kind of my guess for a cycle peak, December of 2025, January of 2026. I said 20, yeah, I meant to say 2026 before. Excuse me. 3-day, look at these EMAs coming into the gray. Look at the last time they came into the gray. This was a nice bottom, September of 2023. So, I mean, right around there, you could see another wick lower if we do, catapult lower, liquidate more people, go back to 48 or something, and jump higher. I kind of don't think that's going to happen. I kind of already think we've, bottomed out here. And I think there's a good shot of not even losing 56 again. I think you may be able to continue forward. But, whenever you get too confident like that, market always finds a way to, to humble you a little bit. Obviously, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we look at, what most likely will happen. And if we could use that with good risk management and do some good trade setups with that, we can make, money over time and do very well. So yeah, and then potentially breaking up from there, you're looking at 65K as a technical target, which would be really nice, and that's what I'm hoping for. It's just taking its time. I would assume, tomorrow's Friday, sometimes the weekends are more choppy. Hopefully by Monday, that's a while to wait. Hopefully the next 12 hours we could see a jump up. Right now, little bull dev, money flow situation there in the 30-minute. You got your money flow generally kind of coming up on some of these lower time frames. And yeah. Potentially jumping up to there. 61.3 right to that point. Yeah, I mean a micro type of trade. I mean we could probably hope that we could, reclaim VWAP or whatever, come up a little bit more. I could get a 3-to-1 almost. Yeah, that's pretty good. Very low risk, high reward right there. That's what I'd be looking at for Bitcoin. Now, let's look at Ethereum and then, Ethereum, and then I want to look at kind of the macro on some of the altcoins because, BNB, CZ got out of jail. There's some things happening there. Matic, obviously, as you guys saw, done very well. And then if we're looking at the kind of, deeper waves right here on ETH. I mean, the last time you had a real deep wave on ETH was around the bottom, September of 23 there. So, my guess is that you would kind of repeat this trajectory upward and follow that trajectory upward to a peak sometime in 2025, hopefully around at least 7K, I would hope, making a new all-time high, I would hope. And if we do look at, some of these lower time frames here, it still generally looks like we want to jump up a little bit more. Trigger wave right there in the 12-hour. It's bouncing around between these spider lines, like watching paint dry. You're either going to break up or break down. I would bet that you're going to break upward, but I could absolutely be wrong. We don't know. We can just make educated guesses and use good risk management, like I mentioned, and try to get decent trades here. I would try to, if I were to try to trade this right now, I would try to do something of this nature. Try to jump back up, that place. I'd probably rather do the Bitcoin one that I showed you guys, but that's what I'm looking at right now. And then potentially jumping up or there. So, yeah, I mean, you could try to scalp or just, I already have some trades in, but I'm just waiting for an outcome on. So you could do that too. When we look at like Ethereum, just looking at Ethereum, remember I looked at Bitcoin and kind of where it bottomed out. So Ethereum bottomed out right around December of 2016. In the 4-year cycle, that would be December of this year bottoming out. I don't know. It could be a little bit different. That was the bottom in August, then you made a little bit lower low. It could be like that. It absolutely could be like that, where you make a little bit of a lower low. Maybe you finally hit, I don't know, what did we hit here? We hit, 2100. Maybe we finally hit 2000 in December or something. I don't know. It's possible. But I would be more on the bull case at least for now a bit. So that's what I'm looking at. And then I was comparing it to kind of XRP a little bit. When did that bottom out? Similar situation. You had the bottom in August in this cycle, which this cycle is more similar to that 2016, 2017 area, or at least 2016 so far. And, February was that second bottom. So early 2017. So, we don't know exactly, but what I can predict with, a decent level of confidence, most likely, 2025 will be a good year. So, and you're seeing some rare bear signs too. Trigger wave on the monthly here on XRP. Will XRP, come back and make a new all-time high? I have no idea. I would think you're at least going to get back up to $1 at some point. Hopefully, $1.30, hopefully these points, but I don't know. It's hard to say what will happen with XRP. A lot of these will not make new all-time highs, but some of them will. I mean, you could kind of compare this trigger wave to maybe even over here. Maybe we're going to start that rally upward for a while here and, keep going up until later next year and, really shock the world and make new all-time highs. I don't know. It's tough to say. That would be pretty crazy if, biggest comeback ever for XRP. You only been waiting, what was it, 6-7 years for it, and then we finally make a new all-time high, $5. I mean, potentially. Other than that, the coin is boring, but it does look like it's more on the bull side, I would argue. Solana has been a big one that people have, it's really surprised a lot of us through, the last year to 2 years, last year and a half, I should say. Holding this kind of spiral line right here is good. I generally think, money flow coming up, a lot of these could continue forward. I like how Solana looks. I think you hopefully could break upward and get up to that 153 area. Matic really shocked us a lot, really came up, right to that area, hopefully up to 59 cents, some consolidation, then continuation I would look for, and it still generally looks good here. That's what I'm kind of looking at on Matic. I mean, it did come up a lot. The volatility on these, I mean, this is up 55% so far, so that's, quite a bit there. And, deeper kind of anchor right there. And, yeah, money flow coming up. So that's generally pretty good. BNB, CZ just got out of prison. I don't know. He's going to halfway house now, or free. I forget how it works, but it jumped up. This could be interesting. I mean, if you were to, continue forward, you could have a breakout up to 9 something, sometime early next year. I mean, the big moves happen quickly. I would expect you to hit probably at least 900 next year. And then, beyond that, I don't know, but there's a good shot at 900 here, or at least continuing forward. So we'll see what happens there. One of the few that's already getting the trigger wave on the weekly. So we'll definitely have to see what happens. Generally looks good. This thing has always, exceeded a lot of people's expectations. This one did, I don't know if it made a new all-time high adjusted for inflation. Bitcoin hasn't, but it really follows Bitcoin closely. So yeah, I'm just curious about Bitcoin, BNB Bitcoin, because obviously we want to look at, what can outperform Bitcoin. And this generally has since December of 23. And I would estimate that it would continue. I'd guess that it would continue forward here based on what I'm looking at. And then if we look at, stuff against, I just wanted to look at, when a few, like Litecoin, some of the OGs that have been around. So ETH bottomed out against Bitcoin in December of 2016. When did Litecoin bottom out against Bitcoin in 2016? February 2017. We're a little bit later. Just like XRP bottomed out, I believe, against Bitcoin. Looking at that, where was it? Yeah, February 2017. So it could be, it could be a few more months. We'll absolutely have to see what happens here. But I do think, that 2025, we're going to get that jump up. So, I mean, if you're considering converting alts to Bitcoin right now, unless it's something that's really garbage, probably not the best idea. Obviously not financial advice, though. Bitcoin dominance, this could continue forward. This could absolutely, continue downward a bit here. We got some money flow coming out. This one's been tough to read. I would expect a bit more of a correction than potentially continuing forward, making some more highs if you do get that last leg up, and some alts bleed a bit more against Bitcoin here. Just to project what Bitcoin would do into a potential potentially the Fed, cutting rates. Typically we drop down. For traditional markets, typically we drop down right after the first rate cut. Bitcoin jumped after the first rate cut and then dropped down. Had a lot of volatility back in that after that rate cut in 2019. But if we look here, there's a good shot we could get up to maybe 70K, low 70Ks or something, close to your all-time high. And then with that rate cut, another anticlimactic, drop back down into October. And then you start to recover into the end of the year, and you really get to those new all-time highs in November, maybe around your second rate cut, your third rate cut in December. That's my kind of base case, right now. So that's what we have to look at there. Just to look at a little bit of traditional markets. So the triple Q is getting a pullback here. I think you want a healthy pullback kind of on your way up, and I think you got a good shot of generally trying to continue forward here. That's what I would kind of guess here. A good shot of continuing forward here, hitting that area. Looking at some of your lower time frames, some trigger waves forming and such. It doesn't look awful yet. You do have some money flow coming out. There are some a little bit of minor concerns. This definitely isn't looking like the hottest thing right now, but I don't know if there's going to be enough to really send it down. You might retest 470 a little bit lower. So that's what we're looking at right now. But some of these trigger waves, they usually give you what you need on the triple Q. S&P 500 would probably look pretty similar here, kind of a rejection, from that high point that we were looking at right here. So you're rejecting from that point, but where do you bounce? I mean, lower time frames, those trigger waves could kind of save the day here. Sometimes the littlest of bullish things saves the day. Your money flow coming down, though, on the 2-day. So that's a little bit concerning. So it's in between. It's kind of in between here. But I don't know. My case is kind of that we should continue forward. Curious about the treasuries just a little bit. If we look at like the 30-year, that is coming up a little bit on the day, but I don't know. I would assume that it could come up a bit more if you do see the S&P 500 and all these markets, continue to come up. So it could bounce around, then come down, 25 basis points once the Fed cuts it, 25 basis points back down to the, maybe making a lower low from there. a lot is up in the air here. You know, a lot is up in the air in that aspect. But just to reiterate, I don't see any reason to be overly, bearish on Bitcoin as of yet. I would still keep a bullish, bias right now based on what I'm looking at. We got to wait and see what happens here. Been kind of a slow market. Really appreciate you guys. Check out the links down below and check out the Discord and subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate that. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.